It's a pleasure to welcome you all to another episode in a brand new month that we in South Africa commemorate as Heritage Month of the best in showbiz from South Africa and beyond. The passion, perseverance and skillmanship of arts and entertainment professionals is what we always showcase, and this week will be no different. My name is Rifil Wemwilwa and this is Afroshowbiz News. In your headlines, veteran actor and the man behind the stern Mkhize of Emzini Wezinsizwa, Ubab Roland Mqwebo, dies at age 74. The highly acclaimed New York-based global dance company, the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre, is in Johannesburg. Joburg Art Week is back, highlighting various disciplines of art and artistic projects in the City of Lights. News of the passing of veteran actor Ubab Roland Mqwebo sent waves of sadness through the entertainment industry and KwaZulu-Natal this week. Although the actor, 74 years old, had major roles in local productions such as Shaka Zulu and Deliwe, amongst others. It was his portrayal of the strict and orderly hostel inmate of Room 8 that made Mkhize of Emzini Wezinsizwa a well-loved household name.
Emzini Wezinsizwa's Room 8 will never be the same again. The roaring voice of Mqwebu's character, Mkhize, is no more. This sitcom graced our screens for the first time in 1994 and has remained popular ever since. Born in Inanda, near Durban, 74 years ago, Mqwebu made a name for himself in the acting business, appearing in Deliwe, another popular drama in the 80s. He also played the role of Ngomane, King Shaka's friend in the film Shaka Zulu. But most Emzini Wezinsizwa lovers will remember him as Mkhize, a role he played with laudable excellence. Mqwebu did not only contribute to the arts, but also had his hand in music. He collaborated with Pusi Kemisi in the production of the song Ekaya Ngonyao. The sitcom Emzini Wezinsizwa did not only bring households together, but it also bridged the gap between different ethnic groups in South Africa and the region.
Up next, let's see how an organization called Raise Your Voice keeps coming up with innovative ways to create awareness and raise funds in their continued efforts for the plight of women.
Brian Fanatics came through in numbers last year, which raised 18,500 for the Open Door Crisis Center in Pinetown. The beneficiary list grew as the Zimela Women's Organization and Kerr House came on board. A whopping 32,000 was raised at this year's event. What better way to host a fundraiser than this? These gentlemen traded their sneakers for high-heeled shoes and headed for the finish line, all for a good cause. For some, the sprint was easy, but others showed that these high-heeled shoes are definitely not meant for running. It was good entertainment for the crowd as well, who came out in their numbers. But what's behind the heel dash idea?
Durban Heel Dash is an opportunity for men and women alike to don some heels, at least 5 centimeters in height, and run a 50-meter course. And those who don't want to run can mince or walk or sashay, but I mean, ultimately, it's just to come and have fun. Each contestant pays a 40 Rand registration fee, and that goes directly to the 3 charities. This year, we'll be adding the tallies from the Durban Heel Dash to our Flames and Dames 32,000 Rand and handing all of it over to our 3 charities. They are the Kerr House, which is a women's shelter based in Durban, the Open Door Crisis Center, and our 3rd charity is the Zimela Community Trust. 3 very diverse organizations, but all doing great work to help women of South Africa. My Women's Day message is just to encourage each of us to be grateful for what we have. I mean, amazing strides have been made in the liberation of women, but we also need to be cognizant that there are still people who are imprisoned by the past, who haven't been able to escape and the chains that bind them and hold them. And it is our responsibility to use our fortune to help those who are less fortunate.
23-year-old Slindile Bengu from Snawana in Soweto is a breath of fresh air to the poetry and creative writing space in South Africa's literary world right now. Her collection of inspirational poetry carries a rich and powerful message that's relevant to people across age and gender. Slindile, welcome to Afroshowbiz News. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, just 23 years old, you're managing, studies as well as this book, this anthology of poetry. Tell us how long it came to be that it took you to write this.
I started writing in 2011, but then I started taking the whole idea of collecting poetry in 2013. So I'd say from then until this year, it would be 4 years.
Okay, wow. And the collections that you have, I mean, it's some of your poetry. Are there other people as well that you've decided to showcase in Whisper Tells Me?
No. All the collections in the book Whisper Tells Me are my own writings.
Okay, and the inspirational element of it, what is it that inspires you?
I am inspired by people who are driven to make a difference in the world. I personally wake up each and every day and tell myself that if I could just add some positive value to the world or to someone else's life, then I have achieved something. So that is what inspires me, to add positive value.
Okay, and I mean the book has the elements of love, growth, happiness, hardships and passion. Just take us through some of these themes that run through your poetry collection.
That's very... I find those people asking me this question all the time, and they always say, "You're so young, how do you think of all these things?"
Yeah.
But what I can say is that I matured at a young age, and I started seeing things that people at my age don't usually pay attention to. So I got inspired by music, by movies, and my own life experiences and the experiences of people around me. And I took that and then I put it into my writings. But what I wanted to achieve with my writings, I don't want to achieve a sad sort of poetry collection. But what I wanted to do was to inspire thoughts and imagination. And I wanted people to get a gentle feel, a direct and evocative feel when reading my poetry. So it's divided into 3 chapters, as you just mentioned: love, inspiration, as well as life and happiness. And in that, I wanted to create an overall collection of poetry that was inspiring and motivational in some sort of way. But I also wanted it to be relevant in the sense that love, happiness, and inspiration are things that are close to everybody's minds and hearts.
Of course.
It's things that matter to each and every human being on earth.
Of course.
So I wanted to create a book that any person who would like to read, whether you're a hardcore reader or whether you're a soft reader, whether you're a general reader, or whether you're a poetic reader, it's something that you can easily relate to and understand.
Okay, and just talk about writing and the type of cathartic experience it is for you, because as you've mentioned, you've looked at life and had your own life experiences.
Yes.
And of course, chronological age doesn't matter. It's
Yes.
about your life experiences and things that you learn as well from just looking out your window,
Yes.
So what does writing do for you? Because you're not even studying, creative writing or anything of the sort.
Yes. I find writing to be a tool or a platform for me to express myself. But at the end of the day, I don't only do it for myself. Initially, I used to do it for myself, but then I thought that because I believed in the work, and I believe that it's such an inspiring collection, and I wanted it to take it out there so that it could inspire other people. So what writing does for me, that it gives me a platform to express myself and to touch and communicate with other people indirectly.
All right. And the writers that you look up to, South African or otherwise?
I look up to mostly inspirational and spiritual writers. At the moment, I'm reading Making Life Work When Life is Working You by Barney Hamiday. I also like reading material by Mrs. Joyce Meyer. And I also like reading material by other poets, unknown poets online.
Okay, Slindile, we wish you all the best. I'm sure this is just the beginning of greater things to come for you, and many people are bound to connect, with your words, be it, male, female, young or old.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming to Afroshowbiz News.
Thank you very much for having me here.
All right. Please, South Africa, go and support African literature. Get a copy of Slindile's anthology of poems called Whisper Tells Me. Stay tuned. After the break, we're back.
Oh, it's a favorite minister here. Yeah, ne? Party is a very nice language because it was written by you, the people. Here's a good one. Try hard, an individual who tries against all odds. Gooi! Give me water!
Lead the way with a bottle of Scottish Leader for $119.99 and help make Party South Africa's 12th official language. Tops at Spa. Shake things up.
Across the globe, locally, and on the entire continent. Every second, every minute, and every hour. There's always a breaking story. We commit to giving you the most important, significant, and interesting news. That's why it is not a surprise that more Africans are tuning to SABC News to find out what is happening. Because when news break, we've got you covered. SABC News, Africa's news leader.
Welcome back to Afroshowbiz News. Although he passed away in the late 1980s, choreographer and activist Alvin Ailey's former dancing spirit lives on through the meticulous form and figures of the members of his troupe. The Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre, founded in 1958, has performed for over 23 million people in over 70 countries, and now they're in South Africa.
The artistry, power and passion of the company's 32 dancers in performances of works by renowned choreographer impacts audiences around the world emotionally and physically, bringing them to their feet in cheering, standing ovation. Critics the world over rave about the performance, presentation and uniqueness of this dance phenomenon.
It's been going on for 57 years. Since Alvin Ailey founded the company in 1958, one of his missions was to make sure that dance was accessible, that dance was about storytelling, that people not only see an Ailey performance, but they feel it. And that is going to be true here in South Africa. And certainly, South Africans have a wonderful appreciation of dance as a way of communicating, and that's what we do best.
The late Alvin Ailey, founder and choreographer of the dance group, formed the dance group in 1958 to give opportunities to black dancers who were frequently excluded from performances by racist attitude at the time. With time, the dance group included other races. Even though he wanted to rise above the issues of negritude, his company also employed artists based solely on artistic talent, regardless of their race.
I think the history of the company is from the Negro spirituals and the church songs that Mr. Ailey made, a ballet called Revelations, and they're from the South. And so I think that speaks more and resonates with people of color, but I don't think that it's exclusive. I don't think that it's secluded to people of color.
Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre inspires all in a universal celebration of human spirit, using the African-American cultural experience and the American modern dance tradition.
With me now to discuss the 2015 Mushito Music Conference and Exhibition is its Deputy Chairman, Mandla Maseko. This year's theme is From Kwela to Hop, the Great South African Songbook, and it has attracted insightful speakers from the African continent to the United States who will share their knowledge about the music industry and how to crack it in this very competitive industry. Mandla, thank you so much for joining us on Afroshowbiz News.
Thank you very much for it.
All right, now 12 years since the inception of the Mushito Conference and just the brand.
Right.
Tell us what people can expect this year that will be a step up from last year.
I think what we've done in 2014, we said let's revamp the Mushito concept. It has been running for many years, and in 2013 we celebrated the 10th anniversary. So we realized that people were losing interest because we've been having Mushito in Newtown, at Sandton Convention Center, and the numbers were dropping. And we decided to say, you know what, let us re-partner with the SABC bring back the vibe at the Auckland Park, Braamfontein, and Newtown. And since last year we actually got good reviews afterwards to say this was the best Mshito and quality Mshito. This year we have upped the game. We're ending up with the biggest music festival on the 12th. So for us, over and above the conference, the showcases, the demo sessions, and the concerts, we will be closing with the biggest music festival.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. I've seen the lineup with the likes of Judith Supuma and also Tribute Mboweni.
In fact, we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Freedom Charter through music. We're taking a step back to say, let us remind the nation that music is not only for entertainment. Most of our legendary musicians have played a role in liberating this country. Most of them, their songs were banned, and we know your Huma Segilas, your Miriam Makebas, they actually launched their careers abroad, not because of they wanted to, but because of the realities. But we're saying, let us celebrate that through song and make sure that this Mshito, as much as we must talk about the current issues such as the digital distribution, how do our people get their royalties when they put their music online, it is very, very important for us to say politically what is the role of the music. And for us, we're actually saying from Kwela to Hop, the lineup of the musicians that will be performing on the 12th, you can see it is a variety of the legendary musicians and the current hip-hop a team of young musicians. For us, it serves two purposes. The first one is that we need to remind young people that the music that they are sampling, some of the legends of that music are still alive. So let them share the stage with them. Let us also make sure that the South African sound does not disappear. We have seen now Niger and other African sounds infiltrating South African music, but we need to make sure that they understand what it means.
They never lose
so
South African
for
sound.
us, it is very important as Mshito. The topics in our conferences are actually chaired by both local and international guests, and it's really about the song and the sounds of a South African child.
And the business behind the music.
Of course, Mshito is the only platform in South Africa, in the continent, where we're actually taking a stock to remind everybody that music is not about fun.
Awesome.
Music is business.
Yes, yes. And just quickly, Mandla, to wrap up, tell us about the songbook that will be created at the end of the conference.
Well, we are saying Kwela to Hop, the great South African book song. We are very encouraged that we will be launching a campaign in this Mshito to make sure that people vote for their best 200 songs that Mshito can be able to put together into a collection of a compilation and the book that will be out there. So for people to come to our conference, www.mshito.co.za.
Thank you very much, Mandla.
It's been a pleasure.
All right. The two-day conference takes place on the 10th and 11th of September. So if you want to be entertained but also get the lowdown on the business of music, then this you must attend. Mshito utswella pele. Afroshowbiz News is back after the break.
We ask tough questions.
Have you spoken to the president about resigning?
We ask hard questions.
What you're trying to do requires a lot of money and you don't have money.
We ask quick questions.
A quick one. You are aware that the PAC has now been banned by the IEC?
I'm aware.
And you are also aware that it has been banned because of you?
We ask good questions.
Are you an infiltrated organization?
We also ask funny questions.
Is it safe to eat your chicken?
All the questions, all the time, right here on Question Time, Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m.
Welcome back. Currently on until the 13th of September for an opportunity to enjoy 9 days of art, culture, food and music, exploring the creative side of the African city that never sleeps. Do not miss the Joburg Art Week. It opened today at the Ayetu Gallery in Soweto with a solo exhibition by Loyiso Mkhize and a collaboration of musical genres by a group called Orchestral Zgubu.
5 locations in Joburg will certainly be buzzing this week as the city showcases the utmost best when it comes to art. Various forms of the medium will be put in on the spotlight, creating platforms where artists can interact with the public.
Joburg Art Week is a series of coordinated events that happen around galleries and creative platforms around Johannesburg. And we're doing it in 5 main hubs. That's Soweto, Alexandra, Rosebank, Braamfontein and Newtown, and Maboneng.
The special aspect about Joburg Art Week is that some of the locations used are not from the usual art spaces, allowing more people to get involved and appreciate the different art forms.
It's meant to sort of open up appreciation to the arts, open up the space, because art in Johannesburg is mainly in the galleries, within the galleries. So we want to involve other spaces, such as spaces in Soweto, spaces in Alexandra, that are not quite on the same sort of platforms as spaces within the city. Last year we did have a good turnout in Alexandra. It was one of our highest turnouts actually. And we're working with a creative group there called Gum Arts and Art Smart Brand. There are 2 groups. And they're sort of collaborating with Ichikovitz Family Foundation this year, and there'll be an exhibition of artists mainly from Alex and some very well-known black artists and some up-and-coming black artists, so it'll be a nice combination.
SAUK and Tati Cover Orchestra came together to create Orchestral Zgubu, which is a blend of classical music and some of the best hits that came from a South African music genre that keeps evolving by dipping into other sounds.
This year for Art Week, fortunately, we got some funding from the SAUK seasons 2014 and 2015. So we've invited 2 international artists. Unfortunately, one of them is not able to make it due to visa problems. But we have Hannah C. Jones, who is working with Tati Cover Orchestra from Soweto. And she's a classical musician trained, but she's working with Tati Cover. That's a mixture of different kinds of musicians. Not only classically trained musicians, but mainstream musicians. So they are coming together to create a composition out of one of those famous Kwaito tracks. They're actually exploring Kwaito, what it means, the concept, and what it is now.
All you need to do is log on to www.artweek.co.za to check out the full lineup, which ends on the 13th of September in the Maboneng precinct. For Afroshowbiz News, I'm Selepe Maifadi.
In studio now, we are graced by the amazing sounds of Roots 2000. That's Slick Angel and Mko MXO. Guys, welcome to Afroshowbiz News and tell us about Roots 2000.
Mola Gujan.
Good, thank you. Good, thank you.
Roots 2000, the concept came about when it was the beginning of the millennium. And, around that time, me and Slick, we're just jamming. We didn't know what this will we equate to a group or, something like this now. Yeah. So, and we departed apart and we went to do our solos.
Right.
And we had our success in our solos. And 4 weeks back, we just decided to do an event.
Oh, wow.
And then
just
from
4
there,
weeks.
yeah.
Okay,
and then from there, there was like a great reception.
All right.
And, and the public demand made us to be here,
Put this together.
Yeah, they put this together.
That's amazing. And I mean, what people might not know is that both of you guys actually worked together on Zandibon, and that's the first,
that's the first song we were jamming on,
Yeah. And just the elements of, Xhosa and, you play the harmonica, and then there's rap and a fusion of the guitar and all of that. Yep. That mesh works so well. Just tell us about the dynamism between you guys and the group.
When I met the young man, it was the year 2000. That's where even the name come from the year 2000. And he came from Eastern Cape. And, beautiful voice. He had a deeper voice. And I've got that little bit high-toned voice.
But also very much
yes,
beautiful
but
voice.
Together, when we actually moved around at that time, 2000, 2003, playing around as Roots 2000, we just where we just decided, you know what, I mean, our sounds good together because we complement each other.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. And I mean, talking about complementing each other and just the kind of look you also have. It is Heritage Month. You guys are perfect examples of people who are living their heritage through your music, through your language, and even the way you style yourselves.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I guess it's not we're blessed.
Why haven't you guys moved away and done things that are maybe more westernized and all of that? What is it about your heritage that you love celebrating through your music?
I mean, it's really important, you know, to be rooted, you know, and celebrate our culture all the time. So I guess with us, you know, even internationally, so when we travel with Slick, you know, and with people not even understanding what we're saying, but they always celebrate us. So
they can always
it really say, hey, this.
You guys are doing a lot.
Yeah, you're doing a lot right, especially keeping it rooted. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, people can catch you next week, the 11th of September, as part of the Moshido Music Conference. I'm sure that will be an amazing
at
Baseline. Yes,
and
it's going to be an amazing.
Tickets at Ticket Web. And
all right.
We also, you know, the headliners of the event. We're going to have Nati, Captain Race for us.
Yes.
Nati and Vusinova. We're going to have some UK artists.
Awesome.
And some of the European big artists.
Congratulations.
So it's going to be really an amazing event.
A big congratulations and awesome job, guys.
And big up to the band, Spanish and Zweli.
All right, cool.
Tagiam.
Roots 2000, please play us out with your awesome music.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Kanibone twela manzi enhloko emlanjeni kanibone nomasundu edlulapha kanibone twela manzi enhloko emlanjeni kanibone nomasundu kanibone twela manzi enhloko emlanjeni emlanjeni Emlanjeni, take it down. Zanke naibo no tando njena apondi funo zibulala bati ndiapamba kodwa ndiasfela sozabe kotati ndawo yakho oh now, funana now, oh, funana now.